Hi everybody. In this video, I would like to explain why the inner attitude with which we will face the coming years is of paramount importance. We are in the very midst of a global crisis, which is the harbinger of a big paradigm shift. That is a change in the fundamental reference model on which human civilization is based at this stage of our history. The planetary cycle that is primarily responsible for bringing the new paradigm into being is the Neptune-Pluto cycle that is about to form a series of as many as 13 waxing sextiles over a period of 7 years from 2025 to 2032. Pluto is the fecundating element and Neptune the matrix, which, by accepting the Plutonian seed, takes on the task of generating it, leading to the birth of a new vision of the world. And the birth will take place when Neptune leaves Pisces to enter Aries together with Saturn. Astrology has the great gift of making us understand how and when the energies within the system change. But it does not tell us what will actually happen, because what will happen will depend not only, but also on our ability to receive and translate these new cosmic influences, which is to say that our degree of awareness, of conscious observation of reality, changes the field. In fact, the greater or lesser degree of awareness with which we humans approach these moments of great transformation makes the difference between suffering or opposing change and choosing to become co-creators of change. What I'm saying is that change will happen whether we want it or not, but our approach to change may bring us in the future, with equal probability, either a more inclusive and supportive world, less competitive and violent, where technology is used for the defense of life and the pursuit of greater environmental and social justice, or a psychopathic world where human initiative is extinguished and the will numbed thanks to an increasingly invasive and pervasive technology that will be presented to us as the panacea for all ills. Both options are possible, and indeed we are faced with a fork in the road. Every crossroads implies a choice. And today, with this video, I want to talk to you about precisely the kind of choice we are called upon to make. In order for you to understand where this choice must originate within each of us, I must introduce you to the sign of Pisces, anticipating part of a book I'm writing. I truly understood the meaning of this sign only when I saw in a book by Giovanni Pettinato, an Italian historian and Assyriologist specialized in Mesopotamian languages, the Sumerian glyph of the sign of Pisces, which is not made up of two fish, but of a fish and a bird. In the Sumerian language, this sign was called Kun Mes, which means the tails. And in fact, both the fish and the bird have forked tails. Why the Sumerians, from whom we derive our astrological knowledge, chose this symbolism is best understood if we refer to Empedocles' theory of the elements, symbolically summarized by Solomon's seal. Solomon's seal consists of two overlapping triangles, one with the vertex pointing downwards, symbolizing the water element, and the other with the vertex pointing upwards, symbolizing the fire element. From the union of water and fire are derived the intermediate states of earth and air. Solomon's seal tells us that everything is born from the union of water and fire, yin and yang, primordial matter and primordial fire, and that life, as we know it, has stabilized and can only exist in this intermediate state between earth and air. The further we descend towards the earth, the more we find states of being in which life vibrates at progressively lower and lower frequencies, as in the animal, vegetable, and mineral kingdoms. The more we ascend towards the air, the more we find states of being that vibrate at progressively higher and higher frequencies, such as the angelic, Christic, Buddhic states. Man is more or less in the center of this pattern and can descend or ascend, coming now closer to the animal, now closer to the angelic state. That is, the more we descend towards the earth element, the more we become fish and enter into an unconscious resonance with the heaviness of matter rooted in the universal aquatic matrix. The more we ascend towards the air element, the more we become birds and enter into a conscious resonance with the lightness of air that longs for contact with the fire of the spirit. The sign of Pisces is the last sign in the anti-clockwise sequence and represents the final phase of a life cycle or of a gestation phase. If we consider it as the final stage of a gestation, the last 6 degrees represent the labor before birth. The energy field that is created between the end of Pisces and the beginning of Aries corresponds to a liminal state, in which that which is about to be born has the possibility, depending on its vibratory state, to descend towards the animality of the fish, or to ascend towards the higher vibrational and energetic states identified with the bird. Because here the cycle of the zodiac opens up and becomes a spiral, where we humans can choose, depending on our level of awareness, whether to descend or ascend. In the zodiac, all double signs imply a choice. The first double sign we encounter, Gemini, is the first to become aware of duality and is faced with a predominantly mental choice between taking objective reality for what it appears or opening up to its deeper unconscious dynamics. Libra's choice invests the feeling function and starts from the heart, confronting it with the dilemma of whether to favor the separating love for power or the unifying power of love. The last choice we make, that of Pisces, starts neither from the mind nor from the heart, but from the soul. Because here, where the chaos or the dissolution of the cycle that is ending reigns, and where at the same time the first signs of the new cycle that is about to be born can be felt. Only the perspective of the soul can guide us towards what we are destined to be. And the soul's choices are made with total surrender in a state of deep compassion. But what is compassion? Sometimes this term is misunderstood with pity. But while pity is rooted in fear, compassion is rooted in love. The Buddhist tradition defines compassion as the fragrance that emanates from the opening of the heart in a state of meditation. In the coming years, we are called upon to make a very important choice. If we make it out of fear, as has happened so many times in the past, where we have tried to appease our demons with hatred, wars, extermination, and devastation, the universe will respond to us with horror. If instead we make this choice out of a deep compassion for ourselves, for our own and others' fragility, for the way we have treated our fellow human beings, the planet that hosts us, and the beings of the other kingdoms that inhabit it, then the universe will also respond to us with compassion, allowing us to co-create with it the basis for a new period of rebirth. Awakening necessarily passes through listening to that part of us that is participant in the project. And in Pisces, listening becomes almost meditative, in a state of consciousness that closely resembles that of a dream or trance, as if to say that the chrysalis, in order to turn into a butterfly, must first dream its wings. And this is confirmed in virtually all esoteric and spiritual traditions, which invariably tell us that what we believe to be waking is actually sleep, and vice versa. For example, the cosmogonic myths of the Australian Aborigines tell us that it is in dream time that creation took place, which for them is not a defined epoch, but rather an extratemporal, ever-present dimension in which the creative process is perpetuated, an actual reality parallel to that of the waking state, from which every state of existence springs. In this highly materialistic world of ours, meditating and praying may seem almost useless activities, but when seen from the perspective of Pisces, they are the surest way in which we can tune in to the field of shared intentionality of which we are a part, in order to be able to perform the right action in Aries, so that it does not start from a choice made by the oppositional binary thought of the rational mind, but from that thought, non-thought, informed by the field of the universal quantum mind. I know it may sound like just words, but this is a message for the soul that comes from the soul. Namaste.